Jimmy Butler saved the Warriors' whole season, and this is how he did it. First and foremost, the Warriors saved their whole season by trading for Jimmy Butler. Even though you might think like Jimmy Butler is a great piece, and everybody was questionable on how this will help the Warriors, or if it would hurt the Warriors, or how much of a benefit Jimmy Butler is going to be because he's such a great player, but demands so much money, and also it comes with a lot of value and magnitude on the court that everybody, I feel like, was wondering how this would mesh. But after yesterday's game, watching the Warriors go up against the Sixers, it really showed me, and I guess everybody was watching, how much he really matters to this Warriors team, because ever since Jimmy Butler been there, the Warriors have been winning games. I think they're like 7-2 before yesterday's game. They might be 7-3 now, or they might be 7-2 right now. Either or, they have 7 wins in the last 8 to 10 games. That is amazing. There was a time when the Warriors this year were not winning at all. They were losing game after game after game. There were times where the Warriors looked like a G League team. There were times when the Warriors looked like they would not put up 100 points. There were times when after Kuminga went down, the Warriors looked like they had no hope. And everybody was wondering, how will this happen? How will they get this change? And it was actually becoming an issue. And everybody was wondering, is Steph Curry's career over? Is this the end? Are we seeing the Warriors just falling out of the playoff, have no contention, and will not be able to compete anymore? Is Steph Curry just facing the end of his career and is going to have to die out on the Warriors like this? And Jimmy Butler just saved all of that, because when he's playing, the Warriors look so good. And then you also consider the fact that Steph Curry has been on a three-point shooting streak right now. He's been on a tear right now. The other day he had 56 points with 12 threes. Now, 56 points with 12 threes, that means 36 out of the 56 points that he had was straight from three. Steph Curry was not doing this before Jimmy Butler got there. And I'm speaking about specifically this season. I mean, this is the same person who the Pacers held to 2 points. So many teams held Steph Curry to under 10 points this year. And by so many, I mean there's at least 3 to 5 games that happened in. And to everybody else, that might seem like nothing. It might seem like it's a little bit da-da-da, but Steph Curry giving you less than 10 points in 5 games in a season is insane. And that all came because of the fact that they didn't have a second star like Jimmy Butler. They didn't have the freedom for Draymond to set the angles up for the screens that he does for Steph Curry. And then they traded for Jimmy Butler, and that all changed. Ever since Jimmy Butler got there, Steph Curry has been shooting threes and knocking them down and making them, and it feels like teams cannot guard him anymore. It feels like the floor opened up for him so much, and partially because, well, the biggest reason is because Jimmy Butler's there, and you have to worry about Jimmy Butler getting to the basket. You have to worry about Jimmy Butler making plays. Jimmy Butler can win you a game by himself. Jimmy Butler can get everybody involved. Jimmy Butler can also play defense on the other end and hurt you as well. Jimmy Butler can do everything on the court, and the Warriors are going to need him to continue playing like this. And mind you, we have not even seen the peak Jimmy Butler this season. We haven't seen the best version of Jimmy Butler yet this season, because we all know the best version of Jimmy Butler comes out in the playoffs. That's when we see Jimmy Butler be Jimmy Butler. And if he's playing with Steph Curry and Buddy Hield on that team, Jimmy Butler is going to have great three-point shooting around him. He could get to the basket. He's basically like a better Draymond on this Warriors team. I know he's way better than that, but I'm saying on this Warriors team, that what he provides for them is like a better Draymond, and possibly even more value and more things that he brings to the team. Now, Draymond is very, very valuable in terms of he's so focused on the little details that help Steph Curry, like the angles of screens, like making sure certain plays are ran a certain way, stuff like that. And that obviously is Draymond's whole thing and the whole job here, and he gets it to work. But with Jimmy Butler there's so much stuff that opens up, because even yesterday's game against the Sixers, you could go down in the comments below and let me know, but I don't think Steph Curry had 30 points. I know he had 13 assists. They turned him into a playmaker, right? Draymond Green had 13 points, I think it was. And the Warriors lost. Now, mind you, Tyrese Maxey was held to 5 points. He had 11 assists, but he only had 5 points. Paul George played good, but it wasn't great. Joel Embiid was not there. Quentin Grimes went off of 44 points. Now, that is a crazy career high and a crazy season high for him, and probably something that the Warriors couldn't imagine. And this does happen from time to time. Like, you do get that one player on a certain team that goes off and wins them the game, but the fact that they didn't have Jimmy Butler, that extra defender, that extra body to throw around, the extra piece of defense, the extra, piece of offense, and so on and so forth, to even put more threat on the Sixers and make them have to really defend and, put them on their heels, it hurt the Warriors and they lost yesterday's game. Now, let's talk about what everybody seems to be talking about right now. And I don't know why this is a conversation for real. This has been a conversation for like a good 2 years now. I guess because LeBron James is getting closer to his retirement. But the whole face of the league thing. Everybody's trying to decide who's going to be the next face of the league. And my whole thing is, what LeBron said is right. Why would you want to be the face of the league and the media and everybody tears you down? Now, there's people like me who are small content creators and we just give you our opinion and, we keep it pushing. And me, I acknowledge when I'm wrong, right? Like, people comment like, oh, you're wrong or whatever, and I acknowledge that. But then you have people on national television, on ESPN, on, all these other national televised shows like the TNT, everything, like all these like lines of national television, these TV channels, and they go out there and a lot of times they're saying things for clicks. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about what's going on. A lot of them won't even admit that they're wrong. And even if you sit down and really think about it, these guys are not watching all the NBA games. You cannot watch NBA, NFL, MLB all in the same time. And they're watching college basketball, March Madness. How are you doing that? That's fake. That's a lie. They're definitely looking at stats, highlights, numbers. That's why when you see them speak about things, they never speak about the emotions of the game, the vibe of the game. They never speak about how the eye test in the game went. They only speak about numbers and highlights and stuff like that. They don't speak about the game. There's so much stuff that goes into the game that they don't speak about. And why? I don't know why they don't speak about that stuff. But I think it's because they're literally not watching all those games. You can't. Each game is 2 hours plus. How are you watching multiple different leagues, multiple different sports? You watching college and professional, and you expect me to think and believe you when you tell me that you watched the game? No, you did not. These guys are not always watching games. So when they come out here and they're talking shit about Anthony Edwards, they're talking crazy about whoever is supposed to be the next face of the league, even Jayson Tatum. I see Jayson Tatum getting a lot of hate. People are saying Jayson Tatum is soft, Jayson Tatum is this, Jayson Tatum is that. Jayson Tatum just won a championship. Jayson Tatum just dropped 40-something points the other day against the Cavs. Jayson Tatum has dropped multiple 40-point, 50-point games in the playoffs. Jayson Tatum has hit so many game winners. Jayson Tatum has showed himself to be a great athlete and amongst the best in the league right now. He's leading his team in points, rebounds, and assists. And we're saying Jayson Tatum is the softest player. Why? Because he doesn't brag about it, because he's not cocky, because he's not in people's face doing all that extra shit. He's not with the gimmicks. Like, stop, bro. We're not doing that. And that's what these people do. They run narratives about whoever's supposed to be the next face of the league, and they expect you to go back and forth with them. Not everybody is Michael Jordan. Not everybody's LeBron James. Not everybody even cares to be in the media. And especially these days, when you have the camera on you 24/7, you don't really want to be inside the media. You don't want to be involved. You want to stay out of the loop. In the LeBron James, Michael Jordan era, when they first got in the league, when Kobe first got in the league and stuff like that, and they were supposed to be the next face of the league, there was no cameras on you 24/7. So being in the media was actually great. It gave you sponsorships. It brought attention to you. It brought attention to your team. It brought attention to the league. But now, no. Now you're trying to lay low. You're trying to focus on your game. You're not trying to be involved in the media. You're not trying to be in the face of the league. You're not trying to be everywhere. You're not trying, like, people want to lay low and focus on being successful. Nobody wants to be all in the media doing all these interviews and all this extra stuff. Nobody want to do that for real. Because now you're getting sponsorships off your own social media. You're getting sponsorships off your own game. Before, you had to be in media. You had to speak to the media. You had to be involved. You had to get pushed. You had to be marketed. Now your game markets itself. And I feel like that's why we need to stop trying to figure out who's going to be the next face of the league and just let the next face of the league decide that they want to be the next face of the league. Let the next face of the league just appear and be the next face of the league on their own. Let's not put this on anybody else. This is a lot of pressure, a lot of weight, and there's a lot going on. And the thing is, let's say something bad comes out about that person. It could be the smallest thing. The whole league is going to get hurt in the media because they made him the face of the league. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this. We'll talk with E. Safety.